All right, we are live.
We're live.
We are
What,
live. All
what's
right.
going on, everyone? Welcome to the Dr. Fit weekly live stream. I'm one of your co-hosts, Dr. Mohammed Hamouda. I'm an EM physician here in South Florida, and I have with me Coach Seif, who's been in the
Hey
fitness
guys.
for over 25 years. And today we have a special guest, Dr. Luis Alvarado. Man, not only is he an OB-GYN physician, but he's also a lawyer. And man, if you haven't seen his CrossFit routines on Instagram, man, it is. But he came to us because he was struggling with losing weight despite trying all the protocols out there that he will here tonight discuss. He came with us and he was able to lose a total of 25.8 pounds in 16 weeks.
Amazing. Amazing job, Luis. Yeah, absolutely.
How does that
Cool.
hit when you hear that?
Yeah, it sounds like a lot. It sounds like a lot. But those are the 25 pounds that I had not been able to shed, even though I have been trying for quite some time to do different protocols and see how do you lose those extra pounds that you don't just won't abandon you. Um,
Yeah, so let's jump
so
in there, man. What was life like before starting the program? Where were you and what were you struggling with? Like, I
I
think
was doing I've always been chubby all my life. So I decided I needed to, get it together as years come piling up. I started doing some. I started with fake exercise in fake planet, then doing some fake exercise there. So then I realized that wasn't for me as there was no accountability. Because you just go on your own and do whatever you need to do and think you're doing a lot, but you're really not doing much.
you're talking about
Um,
a Planet Fiction? Is that what you're talking about?
Planet
Planet
Fiction.
Fiction, got you.
Yeah.
Planet Fiction. I mean,
Uh,
Planet Fitness. I'm sorry, not
that's
Planet
the one
Fiction, but
to
yeah, I
fake
got you.
exercise.
Yeah,
Um,
right.
but then I started doing CrossFit because they opened a place near to my house. And even though I wasn't doing the big weights or the big movements they were doing, at least there was some accountability. You meet the people that you are going to your same classes with, and there's this relation that I like, and I felt that I needed. So my physical condition got better. Um, as per my age, I started doing some testosterone supplementation, um, and then I was getting better, getting some energy to do the exercise, but the weight was still high. There was no big drops on the weight. Couple pounds here, couple pounds there. They go up, they go down. So I've been trying to find a way to lose them poundage. It's not good for the knees. It's not good for the whole system. Cardiovascular, and trying to do some more exercises, and I just couldn't do it with the weight. So I needed some supplementation to my exercises that would give me that loss of poundage that I needed to lose.
Got it. And how far back, Luis, are we talking about? When did you start CrossFit? Let's
Nine
start there.
years ago, almost 9 years
Nine
ago.
years.
9 years ago.
My man, wow.
nine
Great
years ago.
work. Man, there's not too many
Uh,
people that stick it out with CrossFit, man, for 9 years. That's
yeah,
amazing. I didn't know that. That's amazing. I'm
yeah.
sure we've talked about it, but that man, wow, that's amazing.
Different things, different locations, because I started when I was in Puerto Rico, then I moved over to Florida, and then a bunch of things happened. So I started in one place, then they moved, there was another. So I'm finally in this place. I've been like 3 years in this last place.
Got it, got it. And so here we call those grueling workouts, right? It's amazing. You got the base set up. You've been doing it for almost a decade. I would never tell any of our docs go into CrossFit. I don't even do CrossFit, man. And so even watching you makes me hurt. I was like, oh man, I could just, my shoulders
That's
hurting when I
that's the
see you.
most common comment I've heard since I
Absolutely.
I I I, I do my things and I post it in the gram, right?
Yeah.
And they all go like, it hurts just to see you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, our doctors, quite frequently feel like they have to knock it out in the gym, man. And that's one of our taglines. Like, you don't have to worry about grueling workouts in the gym and hours of cardio to get there to lose weight sustainably. And matter of fact, part of that might not be for you. You got that base, you've been doing it for a decade. It could be very detrimental to them, right? So they might
Mhm.
look at you and be like, oh man, 60 years old, right? Did we mention that, or should we mention that again? 60 years
Yeah,
old, still
I'm
doing
proud of my
CrossFit.
60s.
Yeah. There's a disclaimer here, docs that are watching. Do not recommend doing this at home, right? Like, we're not saying do CrossFit right now, right?
No,
And
you can
so,
you can
however,
start slowly.
yeah, start
Be
slowly, right? You got to
supervised.
absolutely. So, and that's where we're at. Like, a lot of times, these docs, and we say this to everyone, right? That when they're so heavy focused on the workouts, and it worked for them 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, doesn't mean that it's going to continue to work at that same level. And as you're proof of pudding right here, that you've been doing CrossFit for a decade, right? And you weren't able to get the result. Like, how did that feel to you? Like, thinking that, were you in that same mind frame? Like, I can work this off and make this happen. What was going through your mind for that long?
Um, I started like very basic when everybody was doing pull-ups. I was in the rings when everybody was doing, I don't know, lifting a big amount of weight. I was doing a small amount of weight. So I just tried to do it. After I think it took me like the first 5, 6, 7 years to actually do an actual pull-up because of the weight. Because even though I had muscle mass and I was stronger to do some of the stuff, by the time I pull my whole weight, um, it was hard. It was hard. So it was part technique, but it was part strength in the amount of weight that you had to pull up.
And eventually you realized it wasn't going to get you home with the 25 plus. Now I think you want to squeeze a few more pounds out,
Yeah.
out of you. Yeah. So it wasn't going to get you home, it wasn't going to get you to that
Mhm.
lean muscle mass that you were looking for. So now with that said, Luis, can you talk to me about, like, what were the other kind of refresh our memory on, like, what were some of the, maybe, did you do any of the fad diets that a lot of the guys do, get into ketos and things like that? Did you try any of that
Yeah,
stuff?
I did. I did just plain keto sometime, and it's the same time. If you're the same thing, if you go just keto, then you're lacking, you're missing so much of your regular staples of your regular stuff, and everybody else is eating pizza and breads and everything around you, and you are trying to stick with meat and broccoli. Um, so it's not sustainable.
Right.
So you stop doing it, and when you stop doing it, you start loading out of all the carbs that you didn't eat, so you blow up like a yo-yo, back and forth again.
Got
So
it.
after that, I actually was with another coach that not only was the diet, but there was so many other supplements that you needed to take in order to try to lose and cut off and do this and do that. That I said, no, this I cannot take these supplements all my life. I'm gonna mess up my system. It's not sustainable either. So
So they
went back
had
on
you
my
popping a
own.
bunch of pills. They had you
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, look, this is the miracle drugs. Watch your nutrition a little bit, but these drugs are going to do it for you.
yeah, yeah,
Keep buying these drugs. Make us a gazillion dollars, because of these weight loss supplements." Got
yeah.
you.
What do you eat?
And then I started this semaglutide. I saw a couple of people who were using it, lost a couple pounds. I said, let me see if that goes down. And if you don't make the changes in your nutrition, there's no semaglutide that's gonna make you lose the weight. Mainly when at the point I was not a diabetic. My labs were in on point. Um, some cholesterol and triglycerides, but not much to account for as a treatment for with semaglutide as per a diabetic. So I was really doing it for the weight loss. And there were a couple pounds that went off They came back as soon as I stopped doing the semaglutide. So it was not a real, it was not a real um, way of life. I mean, how long are you gonna keep doing the semaglutide to keep doing it?
Did you feel real quick, Luis? Did you feel any side effects with that? We're getting a lot of docs now that have done semaglutide. Post side effects have come to us, for our private coaching. Did you have any of that? Just curious. I know this is
I
we want to do
I don't think so. I just basically I don't think it did much to me. Period. And I didn't do it for that long of a time. I just gave it a couple of weeks, and after the first month, I said, this is not it." So I don't think I had like the experience with semaglutide. I had friends that had to stop it because of the nausea.
got it.
They just couldn't tolerate it.
Got it.
It depends on your metabolism and your how do you process this drug that's you're putting in your system that is not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Like every other drug. Some people respond to it, some people will not respond to it.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm fearful of, man, and we're going to do a separate live stream on this. A lot of the medical experts like yourself, doctors that are coming out clinically prescribing it in their stories where they're, clinical patients where the muscle loss is outstanding. Like, I mean, it's astonishing, I should say, not outstanding, astonishing. Like it's
Mhm.
crazy. 50% minimum muscle loss is what they're saying. A lot of them, and I'm like, what's the trade-off? Lose weight, lose muscle. Like it all matters. Like the weight on the scale is not just about the number, it's what kind of quality weight are you losing. Are you losing fat? Are you
Mhm.
losing muscle with it? Are you losing both? Like, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It's scary, man, that what's happening right now.
Yeah, we have a question here from one of our viewers, Hamza. He said he wanted to ask you, Luis, how does that weight, the little weight you lost with semaglutide, how does it compare to the weight you lost now? And do you feel like you lost muscle mass then versus now?
No, I don't think I lost any muscle weight when I was doing the semaglutide because I kept doing my exercise. I kept my routine, 6 a.m. I go to CrossFit, I do something there. But we're talking about not even 10 pounds in a month and change. Uh, not I wouldn't even say 10 pounds, maybe 8 pounds or something like that. That came down very slowly. Um, when you start one of these diets after you're being not in a diet, you're gonna lose a bunch of weight in water. So like the first week you do lose some weight, and then basically that was it. Maybe a couple pounds here and there after the initial weight that you say you get enthused because you lost a lot of weight, but that's basically water.
And then how fast
Um,
do you gain the weight back?
it was like just going up by itself. It's like a balloon empty, but instead of going the other way.
Got it.
Mm,
Yeah, I think one thing, Luis, just hearing you guys talk here is realizing that everyone's different and everyone has different goals, right? You're a huge CrossFitter. You want to be able, you're 60 years old, you're doing things that men half your age can't even do, right? That's what you want to do, right? But other people, they have different goals, right? They want to get rid of their gut, they want to be able to run around with their kids, whatever it may be. Can you comment on how, like us as professionals, when we deal with patients, man, we're so meticulous, evidence-based, you got to do this, this, this. But when it comes to our own health and taking care of our health, it's sort of just like, yeah, I'll take a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, can you comment a little bit about?
There's something that you have to establish in the why you do things, or the with for what purpose you do your things. If you want to do the diet or do the program because you want to lose weight, you want to lose weight. What's your purpose in losing weight? Um, my father died when he was 53. So I promised myself I was going to get older than that.
mm.
And that's what I'm doing.
Congratulations, man. Yeah, absolutely. You're doing an amazing job. Yeah.
So having a why behind, we work so hard as physicians, we've got a family, right? And it's like this fat that's like, what's it like? One thing that kind of struck me was that it didn't take much time. And it really, once you get into the groove of things, it's not that hard. It's almost like you're going back to natural living, right? It's easier than taking all the drugs and doing the strenuous exercises and doing the restrictive diets.
Mhm.
Like, like how does your life now and your view of health now compare to before? How has it changed? How has going through the program changed that for you?
It's now I see really into the nutrition. I can see like the hidden calories, the hidden preservatives, the hidden things that would try to fool you into what you're eating. You now I see what's what's really in the foods that I am putting into my system. So you can eating trying to eat basically the same things that you were used to eat. Um, you try to do it as more natural, as more the healthier as you can. Um, and still, when it's time to eat a piece of cake, you just eat a piece of cake. You had to work it out. You need to drink your more water. You had to straighten here, but you know what you expect that when you're putting stuff in, you know what the results are gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of those things, Luis, is just, dialing in on, like you said, like real foods, right? Not like Muhammad said, like everybody thinks there's a magic pill out there, a magic shot, right? Or there's some magic program that's going to like wave a wand and all of a sudden that's it, right? It's just, what we teach is lifestyle. We don't teach diets, as you know, Luis, right? Because diets don't work. A lot of times even people come to me, what about you just said cake, Luis? Like, what you got? How many days do you get cheat days? Right. And as you already know, there's no such thing as cheat days. We don't teach cheat days.
Yeah.
Now you can cheat on a lot of things in life. Hopefully you don't, right? But the whole point is cheating on your food. You don't cheat on your food. You just eat, make adult decisions, and then we fix them afterwards because you get empowered, right? So do you
Mhm.
feel like now you have you have enough knowledge as not only, you know, from a client's perspective, you being a client of ours, right? But also a doctor's perspective to be like empowered with, this type of knowledge to feel comfortable even talking to perhaps your own patients. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, and that is, I think that is the key word, empowered to do your own stuff for yourself. Same things you sometimes preach at the office, um, to your patients when my pregnant patients that need some more nutrition, my menopausal patients that they have a fight with their weight because they're gaining weight after the hormones are messed up. Their husbands or men that come to my office for hormone replacement, the same thing. It's those things are gonna help you maintain your system better, but you need to learn what to put into your system to really make it better. And as you said, make your decisions. Once you know what goes with your system and how is your system going to respond to what you eat. There's not really cheat days. There's days that you're gonna eat with better decisions. There are days that you need to eat, and there's gonna be other measures that you have to take to correct on what you did the day before.
No, awesome, man. And so, yeah, I want to touch up on that. You are clinically, you prescribe and you do hormone optimization. So you prescribe like TRT.
Yes.
So, and one of the misconceptions I come across and Muhammad comes across all the time is docs again think that that's some magic shot or pill or however they're taking it. I don't even know that all of a sudden they're just going to drop all this weight because they see these. I don't know if it's on the gram or where they're seeing these guys that just like, oh, take TRT and you're just going to drop 50 pounds, 60 pounds, look shredded. Is that the case, man? Because
No,
you
that
have some
that
experience with this personally. Could you tell
that
us about
that is that is not the case even for women and for men. Uh, Having your testosterone in the optimal place is not gonna guarantee you a six packs and a cut, being cut with your showing all your muscles. It's gonna help your metabolism have the proper energy to metabolize what you put in your system, the nutrition that you put in. to make it and get some results.
So what
If
if you're putting
you
the wrong nutrition in, Doc? Like, what if you were putting all the wrong nutrition in? Are you saying that you still have to learn the proper things to do as far as nutrition?
Yeah, if you have your test one, you put in the wrong nutrition, you're just gonna blow up. You're gonna just keep going up because the hormone is gonna make you basically get bigger. If you put all the wrong foods, then you're not going anywhere. You're doing more harm than you're doing any good.
Thank you
Definitely
for
can.
clarifying that, man, because that's an important point. I think, again, there's a lot of misconceptions out there. You hit two of the hot ones right now, semaglutide, TRT. A lot of docs, a lot of men, they just automatically think, that's the magic solution. I take a shot or they take the semaglutide and all of a sudden, these things are magically good job. So we're finding out a lot of information from you that you've been there, you've done it, you're clinically prescribing, and you see probably thousands of people in this situation, correct? I'm assuming at
Hmm.
this point, right?
Hmm.
Awesome, man. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Mohammed, you got anything for Luis before we wrap up here?
Let me see. Not really. I'm gonna check the content, the comments here. Everyone's just saying you're building a legacy, man. Strong work, so inspiring. They're loving you, Luis. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, man, and that's why we do these things. Like, man, it's like what we consider what I call contagious wellness, right? It's like when you come with your story, it becomes real to other docs out there, right? The other men out there, and then it spreads past that to your patients, to your loved ones, and everything. That this is actually possible, right? That I'm not in alone on this, and there's other guys that have been down this road, and maybe they've failed, and they feel like they've hit a brick wall, and there's no way out. And then they hear these case studies, they hear your story. So we really appreciate all the docs like yourself that come on. And we thank you, man, because these stories are so powerful because they do motivate, everybody else. Motivate me, man. I was when I saw your stuff again, I said, you know what? I gotta get back in some power lifts again. I don't care about my shoulders. I'm gonna go right in, man. I saw that again today after we were before we were, prepping
Take
and
it
all
easy
that.
and find a coach.
What's that?
Take it easy, find a coach.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. No, believe it or not, we say this all the time. 20 years of me owning a gym, right? Being a fitness consultant. Guess what? I always coach. I always had a trainer, one of my coaches who coached me.
Hmm.
So we always had each other to coach, right? So I would never really work. I would try to work out when I can on my own, when time permits. But usually I grab one of my trainers, hey, let's go work out, and they're teaching me something. So our coaches need coaches too, and I got trained by a lot of my trainers. You know what I mean? So it was amazing.
One
Um,
other thing that I want to touch on, and then I think we do the rapid fire questions, and then I have one final question for Luis before we finish. Luis, listen, I hop on with docs, and I almost have this mentality where it's like, oh, I'm already in my 50s. I'm already stuck in my ways. I'm too busy. Like, what's the point? Let me just, eat and drink whatever I want. I'm gonna die anyways, right? Like, let me enjoy. Like, are you suffering right now? Are you enjoying life more? Like, what do you have?
No, I'm definitely enjoying more than I was maybe in my 30s. I'm more active. I'm certainly doing things I didn't do in my 20s. So
mhm.
I've learned. I taught myself and I made myself learn how to enjoy life at this age. I started doing the CrossFit. I was already 50 years old. Um, when this place that I'm going CrossFit, um, it opened, and at the time I needed to change. So I was basically one of the founding members of this CrossFit. So I always tell the coach that I'm the oldest member. Yeah, but I just mean that I'm the oldest because I was the first that registered. There's some people that older than me, but I'm the oldest member of the club, right?
Nice.
Uh,
Got it.
Awesome.
Yeah, man. Awesome, man. As we wrap up, I got some rapid fire questions, and Mohammed, you jump in too. So, real quick, man, did you have to become a hermit to do our program, the lifestyle program? Did you not go on vacation? Did you not you're Puerto Rican, yeah, and you went to Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, right? I mean, did we make you just sit at home and just stare at your walls and say you got to prep all day long and that's all you got? Like, how was it, man? Did you still have a life?
No, man, no, man. I think I've been to Puerto Rico more than before the program for one thing or another, but I had to be going there,
And you
and
still
I just
lost
had
weight, huh? You were still able to lose 20 over
and I lose
25
weight,
pounds.
and I lost weight on one of them. Yeah. And then I just went to my annual vacation with my family. We went out for a lengthy vacation, and we enjoyed the vacation. We ate we ate the food, we ate the whatever. When we came back, it was time to tweak and
Okay.
tweak.
There you go. Absolutely. Awesome, man. And so with that said, I mean, with your foods, like were you feeling like you were starving and just eating chicken and broccoli like you had to before?
No, I'm eating more than I'm able to eat more than what I was trying to eat when I was in the other diet. I'm feeding myself. I'm in the beginning when I started to eat, force myself to eat to keep up with the amount of calories you need to put into your system because it's a lot of protein, which is the main component of your nutrition. And when you realize that why are you eating the protein that you're eating, then you realize and you set it up during the day, and it's a matter of getting used to it.
What was quickly, what's the biggest thing you're proud of within the last, 16 weeks that you've been able to accomplish, man, that you feel like, you know what, this is something I wasn't able to do before, or I feel like, at this point. What is that?
I mean, I dropped my triglycerides from 300. They're under 150
Woo!
in the first not even 8 weeks or something like that. I had dropped the triglycerides, and I kept them down through the whole program.
Nice,
So
nice. I didn't even know that, man. You didn't share that. Did you share that with
yeah,
me, Luis?
yeah, I told you before early. It was very early.
Oh wow, yeah, that's awesome, man. That's amazing. Good, good, good. And as we wrap up, man, like, if there's any doctors on the fence and they're like dealing with similar situations like we do have like docs say that they've been heavy for 20, 30 years and they feel like almost like helpless at this point. Like, what would you say to them? Hearing your story, like what would you say? They're on the fence. They don't know if they should jump in and do, something that's sustainable for the rest of their life. What would you say to them?
I've had always been heavy. It's just a matter of the struggle of keeping it, doing it. This is a way in which you learn where do you want to be. You don't have to be skin and bones. You just need to be X amount of pounds lighter for this time. And once you get used to it and get to a weight that you want to be, that's the way you're gonna maintain.
Absolutely.
Awesome,
Good, good.
awesome, awesome. Well, Luis, thank you for hopping on with us. If there are any docs, okay, who want to join a supportive community, take out all the guesswork, something that's customized to you and your body and your goals, then write in the comments, what should we write, Luis? What should they write?
Go for it.
Go
Go
for it.
for it.
Go for it in
Love
the
it. Go
comments.
for it.
And I'll reach out, or Coach Sifa reach out, or one of our coaches, Coach Candice, or one of our coaches will reach out and have a conversation with you. And let's get you healthier. Let's get healthy together. All
Go
right.
for it.
Go
There
for
you go. Go for it, guys.
it.
Thanks, Luis. We appreciate it, man.
Okay.
Thank you. Take care.
All right.